Good morning and welcome to this brief tutorial about the Riverpoint Writer. As a University of Phoenix student, you will be asked to write all of your research papers in APA. And so the Riverpoint Writer template is a really wonderful tool to help you make sure that your formatting is correct. To access the Riverpoint Writer template, you are going to visit the library, Center for Writing Excellence, and here under APA information is the Riverpoint Writer. When you click on this, you will get information regarding what the Riverpoint template is all about, who can use it, what the requirements are for your computer, and then how to download. You can download for either Windows or Mac. Please make sure that you have Mac OS 10.8 or higher if you are using that system. So after you go through the download, the template will be created and you'll have an icon on your desktop. And so after you open this up, this is what it should look like. You will get a box that says Riverpoint Writer, and this is the place where you're going to be actually creating your title page and starting your essay. As a graduate student, you will rarely have a paper that requires an abstract. This is normally for dissertations or work that is to be published. So you do not need to click on this. All you need to do is create. After you create, you're going to get the information here that will ask you to input in the various cells for your title page. And so we are quickly going to put in a made-up title, APA sample paper. And as you can see, it's really important that when you're using Riverpoint that you read the information, because it tells you exactly how you need to input your different data blocks. And please make sure that you read all of this hint information because it's going to help you format the paper properly. So we have our title in normal upper and lower format. We're going to put in our course number, which of course is EDU 500. We are going to put in the due date, and as it says, we're going to follow December 3rd, 2015, normal month, day, and year. As you can see, the writer's name is already put in here, and now we'll put in the faculty name. Please read the notes. Riverpoint is certainly a style that is acceptable for the University of Phoenix. So we are good to go. We're going to hit OK. And all of a sudden, wait, this looks a little strange. We're on the second page of the essay, because if you scroll up, your title page, has already been beautifully formatted. We have the title of the paper, the name of the author, the course number, the date, and the faculty name. And this is all information that is necessary for your work. Please note too that this is an acceptable font, Times New Roman. Your work must be in Times New Roman 12 font. So as we scroll down, note too that your cursor here is on the second line of the paper, already indented. All paragraphs must be indented, and this is already set up for you to get started. Now, the reason for doing APA, we know, is because this is a course considered to be one of the social sciences. And when you do APA, you have to make sure that you are not only using the proper form, but that you are correctly citing and referencing research that you utilize when you are writing your essays. So that means you're going to go to textbooks, that means you're going to go to the internet, peer-reviewed journal articles, use articles in the library, and when you do this, you need to make sure that you properly attribute credit, meaning you cite the sources that you use. So for our purposes today, we are going to do a quick review of how to input the information into the Riverpoint template so that you can have a properly formatted paper. So this is a sample. Now, to put in a citation, you should actually start by putting in a reference first, and I'll show you why. Wherever you want to put in your citation, you are going to right-click on your mouse, and as you can see, You have the normal tools that would come with Microsoft Word, but if you look at the top of this list, you have a number of different features that are because you have Riverpoint loaded here. We're going to start with create and add a reference. You want to add your reference first because then it's very easy for you to create the citation that will come from that reference. We are going to insert a book reference, and this again is where you're going to input information into these data blocks. If you look over here to the right hand side, wherever your cursor is, there will be accompanying information over here on the hint section. So this is a preview area that displays a representation of the text for the reference. Please make sure you read this information because it's going to tell you exactly how you need to format the information in each different block. So for the author here, it says the author of the reference, click on add an author. So we're going to do that. This author is not going to be an organization. That would be, for example, the U.S. Department of Education. If that's where your information is coming from, you would click this. But for our purposes, we're going to do an individual. As you can see to the right, it says enter the author's first, middle, and last names. The last name entry must be entered in with the appropriate, proper capitalization. So for the first name, we're going to say James. We won't do a middle name, and we'll say Woods. No, not the actor. It's just a coincidence. Okay, now we're going to hit create this author entry, and as you can see back up here, it formats it properly because to use an APA reference, author means you're going to have the last name and the first initial. So this is properly done. Then we're going to jump down here to the book title. If you look over at the hints, it tells you that you need to capitalize only the first word, proper noun, or the first word following a colon for the book title. So book titles do not follow proper or normal capitalization rules. So we're going to say the name of this book is APA, which would all be capitalized because that's a proper noun in this case, made easy for. That's the name of our book. And notice it's not the normal capitalization that we would expect for a title. We're going to go over here to the year of publication. We're going to say it's 2010. We're going to go to the city. And again, the hints say, please enter the city where the book was published. If it's the United States, select the international publication, and that will help guide you through. We're going to say that this is Boston, Massachusetts. The publisher is Pearson, and no addition. All right. If you look down underneath this, under the preview section, it says where those two little arrows are indicates that the surrounded word will be italicized. And again, this is perfect formatting because book titles are italicized. And so as you can see, it looks pretty good. Let's create this reference. So when we look down here, we have Woods, J, period, which is the author's name. We have the year in parentheses followed by a period. We have APA made easy for beginners followed by a period, and that's all italicized. Then we have the city and the state of publication and the publishing company. This is a beautiful thing. We're also going to add another reference just to see what something else looks like. So let's go back up here and create a reference. And this time we'll do a journal article. So this would be, actually, let's do a web page. This would be something that you find online and you are going to reference and you make citations from that information. So we're going to hit a web page, Again, we're going to add an author. And this time the author will be Clay Waters. We're just making this up, please understand. So we have our author here, and let's go to the name of the web page. If you look over at the hint, again, only capitalize the first word or proper nouns. Exclamation point. All right. Now we have to look at the organization or website name. But this is not applicable, so it won't even actually let you enter any information in here because we've already got an author. The organization or website might be, again, the U.S. Department of Education or some such thing. We're going to go to the address, apa.org. All right. And generally, there is a time of last update. So we're going to say, if you look over at the hint, you need to use some examples. The year always comes first. So we're going to say 2015. All right. And now, again, we have the preview where the double arrows would indicate that something should be italicized. In this case, there's nothing that is to be italicized. And so we have the name of the author, the year, and the title, and now we're going to create the reference. And let's take a look at the page. Now, Waters automatically came in ahead of Woods. And this is because your reference page is going to automatically sort itself out in alphabetical order. References have to be listed in alphabetical order. This is properly formatted. You don't need to do another thing. It's a beautiful thing. We're going to scroll back up to the paper. We're going to put the cursor wherever it is that we want to put a citation. We're going to right-click again, and now we're going to go to Insert a Citation. Now, because we have two entries here, you have to select whichever reference you want to pull the citation from. So we're actually going to do the second one, and then we hit Select to Cite. Then this is what's going to be inserted into your paper because that's your citation. We're going to hit Insert, and there it's done. I do want to bring to your attention, though, you see this green squiggly line? That should normally indicate a grammar issue or something wrong with your paper. In this case, the thing that's wrong is a spacing issue. There should only be one space. So we're going to hit the backspace button. We clear that up. We hit our period, and then we're ready for more typing. So it's a pretty simple tool, but it's a very effective tool. I highly recommend that you do two things. Please download the Riverpoint Writer, and secondly, use it for every APA paper that you need to write for the University of Phoenix. Thanks very much for watching.